I feel particularly grateful for us meeting in this constellation because this week has been so heavy. And I just think it's so important when you're an empathetic person, you've got to get around your people who share your energy because it all just starts to feel really heavy. Um, and I know that for me, like stopping and trying to vision what my year looks like when the world feels like this feels like a real slog, like energetically. But that's exactly the time we need to do it because we are in charge of our energy, and no one's going to change this world for us. It's going to have to come from us. And I do believe that we connect energetically, and that's how we change the world. And we do this again and again, day after day. It's a daily practice that we get in, we get together, we do it over and over again. And the stronger we get at managing our own, being kind to ourselves, right? Because if you're feeling like it's all a lot right now, it is. And also saying, I am going to look for reasons to be grateful. I'm going to find my people. I'm going to stay in community. I'm going to practice self-care and not get into a doom spiral or get out of my doom spiral as soon as I can. Like all of those things are the practices of being human that help us figure out, as Rumi likes to say, the poet Rumi says, we're all just walking each other home. And I think we find our people along the way and we hold our little flashlights and we keep trying to create the world that we want to see. So I just want to thank you guys all for doing this with me. I think it's just like, it just means the world to me. And I do think like this is, I know Lisa and I have been talking about this a lot this week. Like everything that we see on the outside is teaching us something that we need to look at on the inside. It's all a mirror, as inside. So it is outside. We're looking at the man in the mirror. What we're doing right now is looking at the man in the mirror. We're looking at our inner selves and saying, can I connect to my inner wisdom? Can I connect to my higher source, whatever you want to call that? And can I get rid of the things that are, whenever I can I release the things that are limiting my ability to get to the life that I desire next for myself in this season in life? And I'll say, as we go through this, just a reminder that this season of your life, like your goal for this year might mean, I want peace and quiet. Like it does not mean, like the idea of visioning doesn't mean that you need to want to bring in anything else but more love and joy and peace of mind. Like it doesn't have to be a big thing, right? It just can be like, what is your soul asking for in this season of your life? And I do believe that these dreams are sitting inside of us, waiting to be unearthed, depending on what season we're in. Like when we're ready, there's a dream inside us that is also ready to meet us along the way and let that next season of our life unfold. So a few things that I just want to remind us to do as we're going through this practice. And one is to suspend reality, right? Because reality, any moment in time, is based on everything that's happened up until now. It's all reality now is a reflection of the past. It's not a reflection of the future. And so we can so often use like what we see around us, which is a reflection of the past, to decide what the future is going to look like. And all we need is enough of us to say, no, I actually choose something else for my future. And our brains are also pattern making machines. And so our brains are like, but wait, you already tried that. You already tried this. It didn't work. That didn't work. It's going to tell you all the reasons why. And so we just have to remember that that's the job of our brain, is to recognize patterns. And it's also to keep us out of danger. And anything that feels uncomfortable or new is perceived by our brains as danger. And so it'll often just try to pull us back. And it's a faulty system based on, the beginning of the creation of man. So we can be kind to ourselves and just notice that our thoughts are not reality. We can let them go. being delusional is the way that you get there, right? So many people say, I'll see it, I'll believe it when I see it. You actually, it goes the other way. You actually have to believe it to see it, right? Like it's very rare that we manifest more than what we think is possible. Because we are the we are the meaning makers. We are the makers of it. So just, try not to censor yourself as we get into this, and be cognizant tonight and every day of where your energy is leaking. I'm just getting really good at this year. Like for me personally, one of my goals this year is to get offline more and to read more books and to get out into nature. Like I need to, like, my energy is getting leaked in places that I did not. I'm just letting it happen, and I just need to be more cognizant of that. So, people, places, things that don't bring you joy, things that, like, I really do believe that right now there are forces in this country that are trying to distract us, make us feel helpless, make us feel like we don't have power, and we can't let that happen. We just can't. We can't allow that to happen. Um, the always a good remember the reticular activating system, right? Your beliefs are your little hardwiring. I love thinking about the brain like a computer, and the software is our beliefs and our memories and our habits and our thoughts, and what we keep telling ourselves is what we'll see. Wayne Dyer says, change the way you look at things and the things you look at change, right? And so if you start to get yourself into a place where you feel like that will never work, this isn't possible, just notice that maybe there's a belief in there that's holding you back from how you want to feel, right? And how you want to feel is actually really the reason, right? It's not the thing, it's how you feel when you get the thing. So also, as we go through these visioning exercises, just remember that what we want is the feeling of getting the thing, right? And so if you can just tap into that feeling sooner, you kind of fast track the manifestations. And we really want to feel is love and joy and excitement and adventure, and we want to feel safe, and we want to feel like we're in service to each other. So just remember that those things, like, those are the things that we can find a way to feel that way, and you can always ground yourself back into gratitude, which I find, I mean, it sounds, like we've said it over and over again, but it really is, if you can just find something. I'm going to say I'm so grateful for these flowers. Aren't they gorgeous? I bought myself a monthly subscription. I send myself flowers once a month. And if you can just find something that you're like, I'm so grateful for this thing, you can find that way into there's something, and then you find your way. But if you can just find something, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes, I mean, Oprah jokes that sometimes she's like, I'm still here. Like, that's the gratitude, So, yeah. So think about staying in gratitude. Oh, okay. I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to show you my screen as I pulled another card. And then I thought we'd drop into a meditation, and then we'll get into word of the year and the visioning. So this is going to go into two parts. Grab your notebook, clear your space, light a candle if you've got one. All right, let me go ahead and see if I can share this, get this up, because this was really fun. I did this last week, and I just pulled another one. It was just as good. Okay. Got another person coming in. Hold on one sec. Okay, let me see if I can share this. Okay. So last week I pulled a card, and I'm trying to see, I had it over here. Last week was Breaking Trail. And this week, which is so perfectly me, is Journey by Moonlight. So I pulled this card for us just before we got in to see if I could find any, I'm working on just tuning into the universe source that is here supporting us all the time, This is the card that came through for me. This is some of the key messages from it. Magic is all around you. Spiritual dimensions and mystical realms are only a thought away. The key to having miracles transpire in your life is to believe in magic and trust that you were supported by unseen beings in accordance with your higher good. So, trusting that there is a universe that has your back, that supports you, is going to be one of the keys to you unlocking the magic that is waiting for you, right? You got to believe it to see it. So beautiful. So if you want to join me for this, let's stop this share right now. I'm going to take us through a little bit of a meditation. So you can just sit back and relax. You can close your eyes. If you want to shut off your screen, please feel free if you don't want to. And I'm just going to make sure that I can share my sound so I can get my advanced share sound. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if you guys can hear this. Deb, give me a thumbs up if you can hear this. Someone let me know in the comments if you can hear that. Okay, yeah? Can you hear it, Deb? No. It's really loud in my ear. Hold on one sec. Let me see. Advanced share sound.
Maybe take your
Take the
earbuds out.
AirPods out,
Maybe. Let's try that.
disconnect them.
Let's see. Can you hear it now?
No, can you?
Okay, you know what? We don't need the music. We don't need the music. There's an extra step in there that I cannot figure out. That's okay. Let's go ahead and close your eyes and relax. You don't need it. Okay. Let's start by just relaxing our body. Okay. Relax your face, relax your jaw, relax your neck. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it at the top and let it out with a sigh. 2 more times like that. Take a deep breath in. Hold it at the top. Big sigh out. 1 more time. Big deep breath in and out. Okay, take a second to just notice your environment so you can kind of bring it in. Notice the temperature of the air. Invite in any sounds around you, hooting and hollering from the Patriots. And then try to let them simply kind of fade back out into the background. I like to start to tune in to my third eye. So if I'm closing my eyes, I just kind of bring my mind's eye to that third eye in my forehead, and then just try to imagine that intention coming back into the center of my skull and dropping in there, relaxing your jaw. And I'm just going to give you some appreciation and excitement to get us into that vibration state. So just stay with me through this and let these words kind of just take them in. I am so grateful for this moment and this opportunity to co-create the most optimal timeline of my future. As I sit here, I honor my past struggles and acknowledge all I have accomplished and how far I've come. I honor my present and celebrate and appreciate all that is good in my life. There is so much good in my life. I'm excited about my future and all that is waiting for me, even if I can't physically see it yet. Take a deep breath in. Imagine being filled with a warm, glowing light. Let it out. Take another deep breath in. Imagine this light moving through your whole body, loving and supporting you. Take a big deep breath out. I invite in abundance, opportunity, growth, ease and joy. I feel the light of this energy reaching deep into my cells now. Say thank you, cells. Thank you, cells. I trust that anything is possible. Anything is possible. I embrace the growth required of me as my future unfolds. I recognize this may require releasing old behaviors, old patterns, and old relationships so my future self can evolve. I embrace this with a deep love and gratitude for everything I've experienced and celebrate the lessons I've learned. I trust that this new phase will bring new challenges and growth that I will rise up to meet. I believe in my potential for growth and expansion. I'm going to say that one again. I believe in my potential for growth and expansion. When I trust and tap into my highest self, my potential is unlimited. I choose to raise my own frequency so that I can match the possibility that is waiting for me. When I raise my frequency, I become a magnet for possibility. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Take one more deep breath in. Feel that energy through your body. And as you breathe out, know that this potential stays with you. Okay, when you're ready to begin, wiggle your fingers and your toes. And we're going to get started with our word of the year. Beautiful job, you guys. So grab your notebook. I'm going to grab mine. I'm so excited to do this. I've been thinking of words. I don't know if this happens to you guys, but the minute I start thinking about word of the year, then all of a sudden I start thinking of words like nonstop. So we're going to go through this exercise for the word of the year. I love words, right? I was a journalism major. I love words. Words are spells. They have immense power. We know this, how we can really lift someone up or really knock someone down by the words that we use. And we're going to use them on ourselves with the way we talk to ourselves, right? Try not to self-censor yourself and really think about this in words. The next part will go more like you might have more complete thoughts, but try to think about this in words. And then I'll give you a bunch of, you've got in your notebook a list of words. So please feel free to use that. And we will jump in. Okay, let's see, word of the year. Okay. Zoom, so many buttons, share. Screens. Okay. Present. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to go through these and you keep going. We're going to kind of go at a nice brisk clip so that we can get everything done. How do I want to feel when I wake up? How do I want to feel when I wake up? And just write down in words how you'd want to feel. How do I want to show up for myself and for others? Hmm. What do I want more of in my life? I'm going to keep going through these, but please feel free to keep going with any one of these questions, and you can always come back. Okay. What do I want less of in my life? Okay. Um, and we're going to take some time, so don't feel like you're going to be rushed through this. Imagine yourself a year from now. Okay, we're back here. We had put our vision boards together, come back, talk about how to go, right? How to go. Where do you want to be? And this can be like a place, relationship wise. Where do you want to be a year from now? What do you want to be doing a year from now? What do you want to be doing? And who do you want to be spending time with? Okay. I am going to just repeat these questions for you, um, and give you, if I've got them here, I think I do. I want to just give you this opportunity to look at this screen. I'm going to leave it up for another, let's just say another minute and a half, and allow you to take some time to just go ahead and look at these words and see if anything else comes through for you. So let's just take some time, maybe 2 minutes, and I'll just read the questions for you again as you're journaling. You can take a look at these words and see if any of them speak to you and you want to add them to the list. Okay. So the main questions are, how do I want to feel when I wake up? How do I want to show up for myself and others? What do I want more of in my life? What do I want more of? What do I want less of? What do I want more of? What do I want less of? Okay. Imagine yourself a year from now. Where do you want to be? Who do you want to be with? And what do you want to be doing? Take a break, quick little break. Let me stop the share. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to do this, but here's what you want to do now. So you've got in your workbook, you've got your top 10, right? So what you want to do, and you don't have to do it tonight. This is all kind of like you start the process now. I actually like to give this 24 or 48 hours to ruminate because I do find our subconscious brain, like I just wrote it down, it's not on my list. Whimsy. I want more whimsy. Want more whimsy in my life. I got to add that to the master list. But like, allow ideas to come through. And as we know, some of our best ideas happen when we're on a walk or we're in the shower. Like, give yourself time for your brain to shut down to be like, oh, I thought of another thing. So you don't have to come up with it right now. But here's what you want to do: you want to come up with your top 10 list. And then one of those words is going to naturally emerge. And if you find that you need two, go ahead, take two. But one of the words will probably emerge. I don't know. Does anybody have a word yet? If you do, you can put it into the chat. Um, I think I know my word. I got my word. I think my word's going to be intuition. Alignment. That's a good one, Lise. Alignment's so great. From alignment, everything else flows. It is a gateway word. Amazing. Okay, so that's going to be part one, and you're going to use those words on your vision board. So all of those words that you use when we look at the templates for the vision boards, um, those are going to come in handy because you can use them as all of your words when you start to match the words with the images, right? So now we're going to jump into the visioning part of the process. This is my favorite thing to do because, as Maya Angelou likes to say, ask for what you want and expect to get it, right? Expect to get it. Expect that the universe is on your side. Expect that good things are waiting for you, right? Um, if we expect things to go wrong, if we expect disaster around the corner, we will find it. So it's, it's so important. A couple things to remember, okay, as we do this. So number one, clarity of vision. The clearer you get on what you want strengthens your manifestation power. And it's not like you're going to get, sometimes people have stories, they get exactly what they want. But sometimes you're just, and I like to say, like, get clear, and then you just tell the universe, as Gabby Bernstein likes to say, this or something better. Like, you got something better than this? Show me. Show me how good it can get. Show me how great this can be. I leave it up to you, right? And the second part is acting as if, and this is one of the laws, the law of assumption, is like, act as if the good things are already on their way. And I think what this does, one, it puts you in the same energetic frequency. Like, you got to get on the same channel as the thing you want, right? If the show you want to watch is on NBC and you're watching CBS, you could watch it all day long. You're still not going to get to see the show because you're not on the right channel, right? It's the same concept. We've got to get on the frequency as the things that we want. And you have to be a little delusional to do that. You have to, like, just say, like, it's interesting. I think back to, like, when I first got to New York City, right? And I was looking for a job. And if I had known how sophisticated everyone else was, like, I was a real little town hick coming to get this job. If I had known how sophisticated most New Yorkers were, I probably would have never tried, because I would have canceled myself out before I even got started. And me not knowing was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. And so I think we've just got to put on our blinders a little bit and say, like, I'm comparing against a story that I know nothing about, and why not me, right? Why not me? So Delulu is the Salulu, right? That's what you have to act like it's inevitable. And I do think that once you start to think that stuff's inevitable for you, you start to become the person that you need to be to meet the opportunity, right? It's not like you say, oh, I'll leave it up to the universe and I'm not going to do anything. You start to act like the person for which those things happen. And then you become the person for which it happens. So, right, it's all happening at the same time. Okay, the third is to release your grip on the timelines, right? Like, I told the story, I'm sure you all saw, about my bananas the other day when I asked for bananas and the bananas were on my counter when I came home. Did you hear the story, Mary? Yeah. All right, that was quick. Right? I didn't expect it to happen right away. But if we are, it's such a tricky thing, because if we're saying, where is it? The universe is showing us evidence of where is it? Right? So, like, if we say it hasn't happened yet, the universe is like, well, let me show her more of it's not happening yet. Like, it's showing you what you're thinking about. So if you're waiting, the universe is going to show you more waiting. It's such a tricky thing. But if you notice yourself and you get out of it, just get out of it. Change your frequency. Go for a walk, dance around, just think about something else is better than overthinking, where is it? Okay. All right. So you may find, as we go through these journaling exercises, that you're repeating some things that you wrote down. That means that that's something you really want. So don't worry if you're repeating it, because that's actually part of the process. And if it shows up several times, then you know it's actually something you're really thinking about and not like a random thought. But, and Lisa and I both worked in the creative space, there are no bad ideas in a brainstorm. So do not cancel out your own ideas before you even write them down. Okay, just write them down. They don't have to go onto your vision board. They just give me an idea. And maybe it's something that shows back up like years from now. You know what I mean? And then if you notice the limited thoughts creeping in, just remember, just thank your brain for trying to keep you safe. And say, like, you can just talk to yourself, be like, thank you for trying to keep us safe. We're just brainstorming here. And just, like, tuck it aside. Okay. Come back to this section as many times as you want. you know, we do this at the calendar new year, right? But this may not be the time for you to do this. It's still, I mean, if you go in the Chinese New Year, right? We're still in the year of the snake. You're still probably shedding some things that you don't need, right? That hasn't happened yet. And for me, I find the spring equinox, like this when spring comes, that feels like the new year for me. When spring comes, I feel like that's when I personally feel like I'm coming back to life. I still feel like a little bit in hibernation mode right now. So come back to this whenever you want, but I would suggest that you try to lock down this vision board in the next 10 days. Because if you don't, odds are it'll probably sit there half done for the rest of the year. So just lock it in. And then we can talk about all the fun things we can do with it after that. But there's a lot of fun things we can do. Okay, so we're going to jump in. So go ahead and grab your notebook again, and we're going to go through these questions. We'll take a little bit of time, more time, going through each one of these questions, just so we can think through them a little bit more. And just know, like, make notes to yourself if you feel like you want to come back to this. Because again, this is the starting point. We don't get all of our best ideas in one 60-minute session, right? It's not how our brain works. Okay, priorities. What matters most to you this year? And I think this is such an important question because there's been so many seasons of our lives and so many versions of Tracy. And some of the hardest things to do sometimes is to notice that what was a priority for you at one point in your life is no longer. And also getting excited about like what is around the corner that you cannot see. So what is your priority for this year? Okay. We're going to hit all different parts of our life here. So we're going to move from just main overall top high level priorities to our well-being, wellness goals. So this could include anything, right? I know, like, this time last year, I had just gotten my hysterectomy. I was dealing with that whole thing, right? So, like, what related to your health and well-being is a priority for you this year? So you can include nutrition, you can include exercise, mental wellness, also any healthy boundaries. As women, we all need to think about that. I just got to download. This is the part that I always get excited about. I always want to learn new things. Skills and passions. What artistic or creative pursuits call to you? I can tell you, I'm just going to give you a little plug here. I started to read a book, and I need to go back and start from the beginning because I kind of fell off the activities. But if you've been feeling a creative nudge, I have been doing The Artist's Way, which is a book by Julia Cameron, and that got me into my daily journaling practice. If you feel like there's some kind of creative pull, even if it's just for play, like it's your sourdough bread, like what are the things that you would like to do that spark creative joy inside you? And what is like your passion calling for you to do in this season of your life? I'm going to give us a couple of minutes on this one. So when it comes to skills, you're thinking like, what do I want to get better at? What do I want to deepen my practice in? And then also, is there something happening in the world right now where you're like, I really want to contribute to this more? This would be meaningful to me. This would feel like a life well lived. What skills could you share with other people? And I also think, we've gotten into this habit um, where, I don't know, we're such a consumerized culture that we feel like we need to, if we're going to learn something, it needs to be for some type of monetization where it does not. Like, is there any topics that just fascinate you that you think, I just want to learn more about this? Or is there something you want to learn to do purely for joy? Is it the year you learn Mahjong, pickleball, bird watching, all the things that we're going to start doing? I'm going to grow my garden. I got my honey coming in this year. I'm going to learn Deb how to drive the boat. Relationships. How do you want to show up differently in your relationships? What patterns would you like to change? What kind of community? I feel called to actively seek out community. And professionally, do you want to develop your network? Do you want to create more mentoring relationships? Like, what do you want to do with your relationships? Okay, we're going to move on. But remember, you can keep coming back to these, okay? Okay, professional journey. And this can be paid or unpaid. It is whatever your if you feel like you've got something that's calling you, work inside or outside of the home, what kind of impact do you want to have? Can you get more aligned with your values and your work? And what in this season of your life would an ideal work-life balance look like for you? Like, what does it look like? Dream big, don't think of the past. Any travel that you'd like to do? Where would you like to go? What do you want to experience? Even if it's in your local town, like what would you hope to experience and learn by seeing other places or your own town more deeply? Mm. Your home. Are you looking to relocate, redecorate? How do you want your home to feel? What kind of sanctuary do you want to create for yourself? I just had this idea that I'm going to turn it in our house in Rhode Island. We have this top cupola kind of area, and I'm going to turn that into like my little meditation space. I'm going to just no one ever goes up there. I'm going to redecorate the whole thing with pillows and some mood lighting. I'm going to turn that into my own like nest up on the top. I'm so excited about it. So is there something like a space that you want to, what do you want to do with your space? And I'm going to grow more herbs around my home that I can use for things. I'm basically going to become a witch, a sea witch. And mindset. What are you most grateful for in your life right now? Write it down. Is there a particular challenge you are being confronted with right now that you want to overcome? Is there something you would do this year if you weren't afraid that it wouldn't work out? Are there stories about yourself that you're ready to rewrite? Because all they are. All stories. They're all just a bunch of stories we're telling ourselves. What brings you the most joy, and how can you create more of that? Hmm. And I think this is like such a great question to ask what success looks like for you, because it looks different in each season of our life. So, what does it look like for you or doesn't look like for you right now? What does success look like? You even write it as a sentence. Success looks like, and then fill out the sentence. Okay. A few more. You can keep going with those questions. We're just going to try to hit it from a couple different angles to see if we can unearth anything else that's kind of sitting in there waiting for you to find it, right? So, a lot of these we talked about in the beginning, a lot of these dreams are buried under old stories. So, just trying to peel back the layers. Is there anything you feel like your soul is calling you to do? And that might just be to rest. I say 2 years ago, there was one summer where my whole goal was to practice slowing down. And once I really got my nervous system able to slow down, I slept almost the whole summer. I was so tired. And I just needed to allow myself to rest. It was the most beautiful, restorative summer I can remember. So it doesn't mean more. necessarily. What is your soul calling you to do right now? Mm. What would you do if you weren't afraid? Mm. What is a dream you have in your heart? Again, this does not need to be something that you put on as a goal for this year. Just write it down. What is a dream you have in your heart? If money wasn't an issue, what is something you'd really love to do? I should also say if money was an issue, but also money and like logistics weren't an issue. Okay, we're almost there. Is there anything that you're working towards right now that you want to get done this year? Like anything that's been like half baked, you want to finish up? Okay, take a minute and finish up. I'm going to go ahead and get my, while you're finishing, I'm just going to go ahead and get my sample of the vision boards to get up for us to look at. You should all have this in your workbook, but I'm just going to leave it there for you right now in case you want to grab a copy of it. So I have got, so what you're going to do is you're going to take some time with this, right? You're going to take some time over the next week and really start to hone this stuff down. Get your words, highlight, circle, go back, ask yourself these questions again. Notice again, I guarantee that answers are going to pop up while you're driving to work, while you're again in the shower. I always joke that I should have a whiteboard in the shower because all my great ideas come in the shower, or while I'm walking Mabel because I don't like I'm not thinking about it. And then it gives your subconscious a chance to be like, have you thought about this? So just give it some time. Try not to self-censor yourself. This is a beautiful exercise. And it's so wild to me how every year I come back and look at these and I think, I did those things. I did those things, and it didn't feel um like an obsession. Like my brain just I rewired my subconscious brain to say these are the things that are important to us right now. And that's really what you're trying to do is you're trying to open up the channels so that your brain and your feet are moving in the same direction, right? Okay, so let's look at the templates. So you should all have these templates. This is the easiest way to do this. I know all of us have done the old school way where we went through the magazines. It's never been easier to create a vision board. So I have created these templates for you. There's a couple of different ones here, depending on, or you could go into, you could go in, let's just go back to the beginning. And now you could just go to templates and you could just type in vision board, and other people did some. So you don't even need to use mine. You can actually go in and use any of the ones that other people use. Okay. But I've got mine set up so that you can easily change these. So all of these are meant to be customized. So you can see I just double click where it says word and I can put intuition, right? And then I'm going to give you a couple of different ways to do this, but I'm just going to show you the kind of the easiest way to do this. You go over to elements, okay, over here on the left, and I type intuition. And then it gives me, oops, okay, hold on. And then it gives me a bunch of things. I go to photos and I click see all. And now there's a whole bunch of images. I like this one. So then I can take this guy and I can just pop her into this area over here. And that's literally all you need to do. And you go around and do it for all of these things. Okay, I'm going to change these so that you don't get that messed up copy. Okay, so that's all you need to do. There's another website called Unsplash. I'm going to put it in the comments. Unsplash. If you can't find the images that you want in Canva, Unsplash also has free images. Or you can take some of your own images. So you can just you can upload your own images. Let me see if I can show you this again. Right, so let's just say I want to add an image. Let's see, uploads. You just go to uploads. So let's look, see right there, I've got I had gotten these, I'd taken these cards. So I can either upload or I can go to upload files. Let's do and I can go to like my latest images. So let's just say I decide I'm going to put in the little image that I had from earlier today. And if I want to move that in, I can just move it over. So it's really easy to do. If you have any questions, you can always send me always send me a message and ask me. But you can pick one of those designs that you like and just play with it. You've got your own version. If you need another copy, you can click on it again. You can make yourself another copy. And I will send it to you if I don't have it in that workbook, but I think I do. One of my favorite ways to do this also is I made a little version that can become your screensaver. So there's so many different ways to use the word of the year and the vision board. I love you can create this as your screensaver for your, obviously once you're done with it, I love printing it out and putting it somewhere, right? Just so you can see it regularly. You can put on the inside of your medicine cabinet. You can also put up your words of the year on Post-it pads and put them around in different places. Like you could put them in your pantry. When you open up your pantry in the morning, you could have it in a Post-it in there. Like you can find little ways to remind yourself. I love making my word of the year my password. I'll add like a exclamation point or 26 is the year, like just change it up a little bit. But I'll make it so that I have to like retype that thing in. And it's just a way of a subconscious little remember. So there's a bunch of different ways. So big ways that I like to use a vision board. One is you make the vision board. That's the most important piece is you finish the vision board. And if you feel like there's too many images on the ones that I've given you, take some off, make them bigger. You can have 5 images and 5 words. It does not need to be so many things. Whatever's speaking to you this year. It's that you are taking it out of the realm of possibility and putting it in your field of vision as an actual possibility, right? And then my invitation to you is come back around and ask yourself these questions once a quarter. Check in with yourself, see how you're doing. You may go through some big change at it. We never know what's around the corner, and things might shift for you where all of a sudden new things are possible or new things are a priority. So you're never wedded to it, but it is here to create a light post in the future for us. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Because I know we've got to get off to our other things. No? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.